a sign. Will everything be alright? I need a sign, cause I don't wanna waste my time. Sometimes I don't wanna wake up, I feel tired in my bed, wanna lay up, watch TV and step out fake love. Let the drama unfold with my brain numb. Yeah, I'm still digesting everything that's going on, second guessing if this world is a place worth saving. I feel lost in this world as of lately. Give me a sign, will everything be alright? I need a sign, cause I don't wanna waste my time. I wish I knew if all of my dreams would come true. I wanna be free, I gotta find a way to believe. All I know is that if I give up then it's over, but if I keep going every day's a bit closer. Highs and the lows feels like a roller coaster, it's never over. I gotta find a way to get inspired in this life. Stop looking out and start looking inside. Find what I love and take a little pride. Anything is better than complaining about life. I don't need help, I could do it by myself. No pain, no gain, I will go through hell. Do what it takes, I will break out of my shell. I'm never coming back, once I'm gone I'm out. Yeah, got me like ooh, watch me on the screen, you gon' see me making moves. You gon' see me scheme like I got something to prove. Working like a fiend, yeah I do just what I do. Got a purpose, got a view, turn my vision into truth. My dreams are becoming lucid. The more I work improving, the more I fight, keep moving. I am not losing, pride keeps me refueling. I will be better real soon, yeah. Real soon, yeah. Give me a sign, will everything be alright? I need a sign, cause I don't wanna waste my time. I wish I knew if all of my dreams would come true. I wanna be free, I gotta find a way to believe. Gotta believe, I will make it happen one day. You gon' see my face and my name. Came to this place to be great. Okay, I will make it happen one day. You gon' see my face and my name. Came to this place to be great. Okay, okay.
I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Stroke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact. Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind you know I'll always manifest it.
just think carefully, I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Good morning and welcome to my Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick, and it was crazy last night. I'm up early. I am so tired. I'm so sleepy. You know what time is it right now? Wake and Bake. It's the Wake and Bake show. So we got our nice medicine here already. It's awesome. Smells good in the morning. It's just like coffee, right? Everyone drinks coffee. I smoke. Oh man, we're here to watch the press briefing at the Pentagon with Pete Hegseth. So we're going to be watching that in a few minutes. Actually, in about 11 minutes, that will begin. I do have it here and I have it ready. But first, before we go to actually, let's check out the White House. Let's see how the White House is looking. Here we go. Nice, beautiful look at the White House. Beautiful flag that Trump erected. Actually, it looks nice. Like with this angle, it looks actually badass. Like I think the flagpole should have been a little bit bigger. I'm just saying, my opinion. I would have gone bigger. I would have gone a little bit more taller, and it's okay. It is what it is, but I just would have gone bigger. I would have gone more higher and a little bit bigger. And it's a beautiful morning here in the East Coast. Let's go check out Israel and Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. It's looking pretty good out there. I don't see any too much craziness. They are in their late afternoon, going to the evening. What will be Iran's response? The world is waiting. And as the world waits, let's come back over to the White House as we are waiting for the press briefing that will begin at 8 a.m. So that's why I'm here early, because if not, I would have been in my bed sleeping. So let's make myself a little big for right now, and then I'll jump over when it's ready. Got nice little joint rolled up. I guess I'm smoking 2 joints today. So I'm doing my morning show, get it over with, and then the evening show. Let's see what Iran does. If Iran's gonna back up their word, or are they gonna back down? If I was dumb, I would back down, just because the world is watching. They know the world knows the truth, and they're very suspicious characters over there. Very, very suspicious characters. But I'm tired, man. Hey, Doc. Good morning. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night because by the time I got off of here, it was like 11:30, and then it took me like about an hour and a half to unwind. And by the time I fell asleep, it was like 1:30 in the morning. And And I woke up at 6 to get all this stuff set up so we could listen to Pete Hegseth explain of the mission that was successful yesterday. And I hope he comes with some evidence and some images of the site that was bombarded by six bunker buster bombs. Six. They're 30,000 pound bombs that dig. When they're shot off from the B-2 bomber, it gravity plays a big role in this, and it brings the bomb just straight in through an angle as fast as possible, and it penetrates inside the earth, and it has a delay explosion to like loosen up the ground, so blow up the ground. But the fact that they hit it with six of them tells you a lot about that facility. That was a very deep, big facility. It's just we're living in wild times. That's all. I predicted this like weeks in advance. I try to warn people. The next 2 weeks is going to be crazy. I kept feeling the energy. I kept trying to, put it out into the universe so the universe could hear. And sure enough, a lot of crazy shit has been popping off. A lot. Is it going to calm down? Hell no. Don't see it calming down. Nope. I think they're going to really try to escalate and get other people involved too, which it just sucks. It just sucks because everyone wants to one up each other. There can never be a truce. But we can't trust Israel either, because if Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, well, technically Israel shouldn't have nuclear weapons. Two wrongs don't make a right. So Israel, now let's talk about your nuclear program and your nuclear ambitions. And yeah, what's up? Because I am sure they're enriching uranium, and I am sure they have multiple weapons, nuclear weapons, may have an atomic weapon, and yet Israel gets this. How dare you? How dare you hit me? I'm gonna go cry now. But send me more money. Send me money, okay? Like, what the fuck? Like, no, if Iran cannot have nuclear, weapons or nuclear enrichment, like of uranium, so Israel shouldn't have it either. Like, wait a minute, BB. Let's turn the page backwards. Hold on a second, motherfucker. Like, a lot of weapons, and that's what we're dealing with at the moment. We're dealing with an event where we're trying to eliminate. Give me 1 second. I gotta set this up because this press briefing is about to start. But you have one country that that doesn't want another country to have nuclear powers, but themselves have nuclear weapons that is not regulated by anyone. So I'm just saying, like, you can't just pounce on one and not on yourself. It's like, look in the mirror and listen to what the mirror tells you, because you're doing the same shit that Iran was doing. And how is it okay for Israel to have these weapons? I'm just asking the questions. Pretty sure they got plenty of answers. I don't know about all this little music shit here, but we're going to be getting to the press briefing soon. 3 minutes out. Let's go ahead and shape this up here. And we got this here. There we go. And okay, so just in a few minutes, we got Pete Hegseth coming in. And I don't know who he's bringing along with him, but I hope this little meeting that we're having, this briefing, isn't too long. I hope it's like a short one, like half an hour, because I would like to go back to sleep. I'm not going to be here for hours and hours. I'm definitely just covering this, and I'm out of here. I'm sleepy. I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm gonna try to sleep well this morning. And it's a good time to sleep because it's raining up here. Like the dogs are cats and dogs are falling because it's heavy rain, and it's gonna be throughout the whole day today here. We're supposed to be reaching the temperature of in the 90s today, but I don't know why this rain is gonna make everything all nasty and sticky. Ugh, this is nasty. But we are going to be having a heat wave up here in the Northeast for the next 4 days. With the highest temperatures of those 4 days is going to be on Tuesday, which we will be reaching 102 degrees, which is really high, really hot. Let's see if it changed because the last time I checked yesterday, it was stating it was going to be 102. Let's see what it says today. Today, high temperature is going to be 92. We do have rain and thunderstorms in the area. Yeah, today 92, tomorrow 95. Tuesday, the hell day, I call it, it's going to be 102 degrees. Holy moly. That's the first 100 in a long time here in Connecticut, and uh, I don't know. We'll deal with it. You got no choice but to deal with it. But I bet you 100% I'll have my AC on. My place inside will be 65, while outside could fry. Um, I'm not good with the heat, especially with my medications. They got to be kept cool. But it seems like this meeting should be starting soon. Um, just in a moment, we'll have Pete Hegseth and whoever's going to be coming up to talk. Um, let's see. Israel is chosen by God. Yeah, Israel was chosen by God, but God chose the earth to put Israel in that pedestal. So, I mean, yeah, it chose that area, but I mean, it chose this world. I think outside the box, outside this planet, I just feel like it's a zoo. It's all a zoo. Everybody was dropped off here, and we're all experiments to see if we could get along with each other. And in reality, we can't. So, is the experiment, um, going well? Not really, but humanity still finds a way to live. So, but I always felt, I know deep down in my heart, that humanity was placed here instead of born here. It was placed here. Oh, come on. Why is it taking so long? They should be going soon. Let me check, make sure other outlets, if they're delayed too. One sec. Yeah, there's still. We could go to live now with Fox and check that out. Let's go over here because that one's still they're a little delayed, but we could come over here and check it out. Give me one sec so I can set it up. And this is inside the Pentagon. Okay, let's give it some volume there, and okay, we're all set up. I really hope they come with a lot of evidence. Oh man, I gotta restart this. Give me one second. I gotta restart the picture because it doesn't want to get it. So Let me fix it. Okay. Should be coming up now. Okay, the sound should be good now. I had to restart it because it seems like StreamYard is having this damn issue with the sound again. So every time I see that message, I already know you guys can't hear the video, so I have to like restart the sharing, and that's what I did. So it should be back. Once this is over, the show's over. I'll be going to sleep. And here we go. Let's go. Let's listen in.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning. Last night, on President Trump's orders, U.S. Central Command conducted a precision strike in the middle of the night against 3 nuclear facilities in Iran, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan, in order to destroy or severely degrade Iran's nuclear program. And as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs will demonstrate, it was an incredible and overwhelming success. The order we received from our commander-in-chief was focused, it was powerful,
The microphone is blowing out.
devastated the Iranian nuclear program.
Hold on, let me see if I find a better.
It's worth noting the operation did not target Iranian troops or the Iranian.
Yeah, fix the audio.
For the entirety of his time in office,
There you go.
Trump has consistently
Where's the technician, audio technician? Raise your hand. You're fired.
Thanks to President Trump's bold and visionary leadership and his commitment to peace through strength, Iran's nuclear ambitions have been obliterated. Many presidents have dreamed of delivering the final blow to Iran's nuclear program, and none could until President Trump. The operation President Trump planned was bold and it was brilliant, showing the world that American deterrence is back. When this president speaks, the world should listen. And the U.S. military, we can back it up. The most powerful military the world has ever known. No other country on planet Earth could have conducted the operation that
They just need to stop gloating. That's the problem.
Not even
They gloat
close.
too much.
Just like Soleimani found out in the first term. Iran found out when POTUS says 60 days that he seeks peace and negotiation, he means 60 days of peace and negotiation. Otherwise, that nuclear program, that nuclear capability will not exist. He meant it. This is not the previous administration. The President Trump said no nukes. He seeks peace, and Iran should take that path. He sent out a truth last night saying this: any retaliation by Iran against the United States of America will be met with force far greater than what was witnessed tonight. Signed, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Iran would be smart to heed those words. He's said it before, and he means it. I want to give recognition to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Wow.
The Joint Staff, General Eric Kurilla at CENTCOM, who did a phenomenal job, he and his staff, all of CENTCOM. Policy across the board, this was a joint effort, and across the Pentagon effort. I want to recognize the pilots who flew those bombers, who flew those fighters, who flew those refuelers, warriors. I want to recognize the sailors on those destroyers, in those subs, on those carriers, warriors, all of them. I want to recognize our soldiers doing air defense, base defense, QRF, warriors, all of them. Every American involved in this operation performed flawlessly. And I want to give recognition to our allies in Israel as well. This is a plan that took months and weeks of positioning and preparation so that we could be ready when the President of the United States called. It took a great deal of precision. It involved misdirection and the highest of operational security. Our B-2s went in and out of downtown Tehran, not Tehran, excuse me, of these nuclear sites, in and out and back without the world knowing at all. In that way, it was historic. A strike that included the longest B-2 Spirit bomber mission since 2001 and the first operation of the MOP, a massive ordnance penetrator. The mission demonstrated to the world the level of joint and allied integration that speak to the strength of our alliance and our joint forces. As President Trump has stated, the United States does not seek war, but let me be clear. We will act swiftly and decisively when our people, our partners, or our interests are threatened. Iran should listen to the President of the United States and know that he means it, every word. I want to give congratulations to our Commander-in-Chief. It was an honor to watch him lead last night and throughout, and to our great American warriors on this successful operation. God bless our troops. God bless America. And we give glory to God for his providence and continue to ask for his protection. I turn it over now to the chairman for specifics.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thanks for recognizing all of our folks out there doing our nation's work, and nice to see everybody on this early Sunday morning. Last night, on the President's orders, U.S. Central Command, under the command of General Eric Kurilla, executed Operation Midnight Hammer, a deliberate and precise strike against 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. This was a complex and high-risk mission carried out with exceptional skill and discipline by our joint force. I want to thank every service member, planner, operator that made this mission possible. Their actions reflect the highest standards of the United States Armed Forces. This operation was designed to severely degrade Iran's nuclear weapons infrastructure. It was planned and executed across multiple domains, theaters, with coordination that reflects our ability to project power globally with speed and precision at the time and place of our nation's choosing. This was a highly classified mission with very few people in Washington knowing the timing or nature of this plan. I'll refer you to the graphic on the side as I walk you through some of the operational details. At midnight Friday into Saturday morning, a large B-2 strike package comprised of bombers launched from the continental United States. As part of the plan to maintain tactical surprise, part of the package proceeded to the west and into the Pacific as a decoy, a deception effort known only to an extremely small number of planners and key leaders here in Washington and in Tampa. The main strike package, comprised of 7 B-2 Spirit bombers, each with 2 crew members, proceeded quietly to the east with minimal communications. Throughout the 18-hour flight into the target area, the aircraft completed multiple in-flight refuelings. Once over land, the B-2s linked up with escort and support aircraft in a complex, tightly timed maneuver requiring exact synchronization across multiple platforms in a narrow piece of airspace, all done with minimal communications. This type of integration is exactly what our joint force does better than anyone else in the world. At approximately 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night, and just prior to the strike package entering Iran, a U.S. submarine in the Central Command area of responsibility launched more than 24 Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles against key surface infrastructure targets at Esfahan. As the Operation Midnight Hammer strike package entered Iranian airspace, the U.S. employed several deception tactics, including decoys, as the 4th and 5th generation aircraft pushed out in front of the strike package at high altitude and high speed, sweeping in front of the package for enemy fighters and surface-to-air missile threats. The strike package was supported by U.S. Strategic Command, U.S. Transportation Command, U.S. Cyber Command, U.S. Space Command, U.S. Space Force, and U.S. European Command. As the strike package approached Fordo and Natanz, the U.S. protection package employed high-speed suppression weapons to ensure safe passage of the strike package, with fighter assets employing preemptive suppressing fires against any potential Iranian surface-to-air threats. We are currently unaware of any shots fired at the U.S. strike package on the way in. At approximately 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:10 a.m. Iran time, the lead B-2 dropped 2 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator weapons on the first of several aim points at Fordo. As the president stated last night, the remaining bombers then hit their targets as well, with a total of 14 MOPs dropped against 2 nuclear target areas. All 3 Iranian nuclear infrastructure targets were struck between 6:40 p.m. and 7:05 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's about 2:10 in the morning local time in Iran, with the Tomahawk missiles being the last to strike at Esfahan to ensure we retain the element of surprise throughout the operation. Following weapons release, the Midnight Hammer strike package exited Iranian airspace and the package began its return home. We are unaware of any shots fired at the package on the way out. Iran's fighters did not fly, and it appears that Iran's surface-to-air missile systems did not see us. Throughout the mission, we retained the element of surprise. In total, U.S. forces employed approximately 75 precision-guided weapons during this operation. This included, as the president stated last night, 14 30,000-pound GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators, marking the first ever operational use of this weapon. I know that battle damage is of great interest. Final battle damage will take some time, but initial battle damage assessments indicate that all 3 sites sustained extremely severe damage and destruction. More than 125 U.S. aircraft participated in this mission, including B-2 stealth bombers, multiple flights of 4th and 5th generation fighters, dozens and dozens of air refueling tankers, a guided missile submarine, and a full array of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance aircraft, as well as hundreds of maintenance and operational professionals. As the secretary said, this was the largest B-2 operational strike in U.S. history and the second longest B-2 mission ever flown, exceeded only by those in the days following 9/11. Well prior to the strike, General Kurilla elevated force protection measures across the region, especially in Iraq, Syria, and the Gulf. Our forces remain on high alert and are fully postured to respond to any Iranian retaliation or proxy attacks, which would be an incredibly poor choice. We will defend ourselves. The safety of our service members and civilians remains our highest priority. This mission demonstrates the unmatched reach, coordination, and capability of the United States military. In just a matter of weeks, this went from strategic planning to global execution. This operation underscores the unmatched capabilities and global reach of the United States military. As the president clearly said last night, no other military in the world could have done this. I join the president and the secretary in being incredibly proud of the air crews, naval forces, cyber operators, planners, and support teams and commanders who made this mission possible. It is their skill, discipline, and teamwork that makes this operation possible. I am particularly proud of our discipline related to operational security, something that was of great concern to the president, the secretary, General Kurilla, and me, and we will continue to focus on this. As we stand here this morning, many assets are still airborne, and we have hundreds deployed. I ask that we keep our warfighters on their way home and our deployed service member in our thoughts. Our joint force remains ready to defend the United States, our troops, and our interests in the region. Thank you very much.
We will take a few questions, Phil.
Me? Yeah. So is regime change off the table, Mr. Secretary? And to the chairman, you said the battle damage assessment is still ongoing, but do you believe that some nuclear capability in Iran remains?
This mission was not and has not been about regime change. The president authorized a precision operation to neutralize the threats to our national interests posed by the Iranian nuclear program and the collective self-defense of our troops and our ally Israel.
Thanks for your question. I think BDA is still pending, and it would be way too early for me to comment on what may or may not still be there. But thanks for the question.
Green. No, behind you.
Excuse me, Mr. Secretary, can you tell me, was there a particular moment when the president decided to pull the trigger on this operation where he said, now, rather than being, something in the holster, now we're going to pull the trigger on it?
I would just say, having the opportunity to witness his leadership, he was fully committed to the peace process, wanted a negotiated outcome, gave Iran every single opportunity, and fortunately was met by stonewalling, which is why he gave them plenty of time to continue to come to the table and give up enrichment, give up the nuclear program. But there was I won't say the particular moment, there was certainly a moment in time where he realized that it had to be a certain action taken in order to minimize the threat to us and our troops. Yeah.
General, you say that General Kurilla increased force protection in Iraq, Syria, and Gulf, in those areas. Were they given any advance warning the attacks were coming? And also, Mr. Secretary, when were congressional leaders notified? How long before the attacks took place?
Sure. To your first question, the risk has clearly been rising over the last few weeks in the region. Based on that and not a particular awareness of this operation, we've made smart decisions to minimize the risk to U.S. forces in the region.
No advance warning?
No, sir.
Congressional,
They were notified after the planes were safely out. Well, we complied with the notification requirements of the War Powers Act.
Attacks, they were notified.
They were immediately thereafter. Yes.
Thank you, Secretary. Two quick questions. Do you believe you completely destroyed Iranian nuclear program? And how about Iranian ballistic missiles? Your ally at Israel always saying that is biggest threat. And second question is very important. What will be your next step if Iran or militias under Iranian influence on the region attack U.S. interests or allies in the region?
And you can chime in on this too, Mr. Chairman. The battle damage assessment is ongoing, but our initial assessment, as the chairman said, is that all of our precision munitions struck where we wanted them to strike and had the desired effect, which means especially in Fordo, which was the primary target here, we believe we achieved destruction of capabilities there. Ultimately, wherever it may be, whether it's in Iraq or Syria or bases in the Gulf, as the president said, as the chairman said, it would be a very bad idea for Iran or its proxies to attempt to attack American forces. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Regarding retaliations, Iran and North Korea are cooperating on nuclear and missile development. Do you think there is a possibility that Iran, North Korea, and the other forces, such as China, will join forces to retaliate against the United States?
Well, unfortunately, because of the policies under the previous administration, we drove those countries together, and ultimately that creates a challenging environment. For this particular operation, the focus is on Iran and Iranian nuclear capabilities. That's our focus here, is to not just say that they can't have, but President Trump has said from over 20 years, frankly, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And ultimately, he decided this is the moment, given their stonewalling, when direct military action had to be taken to prevent that from happening. Yes.
Thank you very much. General Kane, I understand OPSEC, I respect OPSEC. Can you say at all what security procedures are being taken to protect U.S. troops in Iraq and elsewhere in the Middle East? And Secretary Hegseth, as a global war on terrorism veteran, what do you say to veterans who may be concerned the U.S. is getting into another open-ended war in the Middle East over weapons of mass destruction?
Thanks, sir, for the question. I won't comment on what force protection measures are being taken in the region. What I will say is we're being proactive and not reactive, and being very thoughtful about ensuring that we do all that we can to protect our forces out there.
And I would just say, as the president has directed and made clear, this is most certainly not open-ended. It doesn't mean it limits our ability to respond. We will respond if necessary. The most powerful military in the world is postured and prepared to defend our people. But what the president gave us, as I said, was a focused, powerful, and clear mission on the destruction of Iranian nuclear capabilities. Those were the targets. That's what was struck. That's what was overwhelming. That's what was overwhelming. That's what the Iranian regime needs to understand, as the president put out last night. He wants peace. There needs to be a negotiated settlement here. We ultimately demonstrated that Iran cannot have a nuclear capability. That is a very clear mission set on this operation. Yes, hold on. Yes, right there.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Question for the Secretary and the Chairman. How was this strike coordinated with the Israelis on a strategic level, militarily, and on a tactical level? Was there any direct Israeli military participation in this operation?
Well, I would say certainly Israel had an incredible military success, especially at the beginning and ongoing, in degrading Iranian capabilities, degrading Iranian launchers, MRBMs. It's been incredible to watch what our ally Israel has been able to do. And there certainly have been conversations. I mean, General Kurilla at CENTCOM has worked closely in the defense of Israel for many years. And part of this operation was the defense of Israel and the ongoing defense of Israel. But as it pertains to this strike, this was U.S. operated and U.S. led.
We took advantage of some of the preparatory work that's been done over the past week and a half in terms of axis of approach. I won't get into the particulars, but as the Secretary said, it was a U.S. strike. We made sure we were not in the same piece of airspace and sky. Aside from that, that was the extent of it.
We'll take a couple more. Yeah, right there.
Question to the Secretary first. Are you concerned whatsoever now about the reaction from U.S. allies given the strike, particularly those in the Gulf? And to the Chairman, if I may, I understand you don't want to speak to specific assets and force protection measures, but do you anticipate at least having to bring in any further assets from other theaters to aid in force protection over the coming days?
We certainly understand the challenges of allies in the region, and we have been respectful and in working in collaboration with them as it pertains to basing and sensitivities there. Ultimately, they've got a lot of assets and people in those locations also where American troops are co-located. So that's a consideration of ours. We've been in close consultation with them, and we appreciate the support that we have got.
Thanks for the question on sort of the global picture. And as you know, that's one of my jobs, is to look globally at the entire range of challenges. We are always carefully considering our force posture around the world, and then offering options to the Secretary and to the President. I won't comment on any future things, but the American people should know that we carefully consider those moves around the world and try to modulate as needed our force structure in the region.
Absolutely. Yeah, right here.
Thank you. What communications are being sent to the Iranians right now, and is there any possibility of diplomacy now or in the coming days?
I can only confirm that there are both public and private messages being directly delivered to the Iranians in multiple channels, giving them every opportunity to come to the table. They understand precisely what the American position is, precisely what steps they can take to allow for peace, and we hope they do so. Yes.
The president may not want an open-ended conflict. The Iranians may disagree. Are you prepared for a protracted war?
well, anything can happen in conflict. We acknowledge that, but the scope of this was intentionally limited. That's the message that we're sending. With the capabilities of the American military, nearly unlimited. So Iran, in that sense, has a choice. But we've made it very clear to them, this is nuclear sites, this is nuclear capabilities, this is the line that the president set, and we set that back. Now is the time to come forward for peace. But I think one of the takeaways from this as well is the unprecedented level of ongoing cooperation. I can't speak highly enough of the chairman and his staff and General Kurilla in CENTCOM, what they've done to look around the corner, to pre-position, to understand how an operation like this comes together. The scope and scale of what occurred last night would take the breath away of almost any American if you had an opportunity to watch it in real time. And I think Tehran is certainly calculating the reality that planes flew from the middle of America in Missouri overnight, completely undetected over 3 of their most highly sensitive sites, and we were able to destroy nuclear capabilities. And our boys in those bombers are on their way home right now. We believe that'll have a clear psychological impact on how they view the future, and we certainly hope they take the path of negotiated peace. But I could not be more proud of how this building operated, of the precision, the sensitivity, and the professionalism of the troops involved in this effort. I will take one more. We'll take one more question. Yes, right there.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Concerning the justification for these strikes, in March, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released their threat assessment, concluding, quote, Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Khomeini has not authorized the nuclear programs he suspended in 2003, unquote. So what new intelligence does the U.S. have since then that the Iranians have changed their position on nuclear weapons? And does this new intelligence come from U.S. sources and methods, or are we getting this information from other countries?
Well, I would just simply say that the president's made it very clear. He's looked at all of this, all of the intelligence, all of the information, and come to the conclusion that the Iranian nuclear program is a threat, and was willing to take this precision operation to neutralize that threat in order to advance American national interests, reduce the Iranian nuclear program, and obviously collective self-defense of ourselves and our allies. So he looked at all of it, understood the nature of the threat, and took bold action I think the American people would expect in a commander-in-chief. That's all we've got. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, do you have any of the WC-135s up to check for radioactive material in the atmosphere?
Yes, that's a wrap. I think that's that. I mean, we didn't get any evidence. I wish we'd have had kind of some evidence, man, of them exploding the mountain, and get some evidence. That's all we got, and I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm tired. I'm gonna go back to sleep. That's what that means. But let's take a quick look. Actually, you know what? Let's take a quick look at Israel right now. Give me 1 sec. Here we go. It's a live look right now. You got the White House, bottom left corner. Then the bottom right is Jerusalem. The top right is Tel Aviv, and the left top corner is Jerusalem. So it's man, is Iran gonna hold up to their word and what they said, that if the U.S. was to strike Iran, that it's on? Like, I want to know, how on is it, and what is the true repercussions that's going to be? I feel weird about it. It's weird energy, not good energy at all. Very weird energy. Like, it makes your stomach hurt a little bit, and these people that are protesting here in America, they're crazy. That's crazy. I mean, this now they're coming up with signs. I already saw it. So since yesterday, I saw it. They already have signs made up saying "No war," um, "Leave Iran alone." Like a whole bunch of like. It's like I guess they have like a printer nearby, so when something breaks, they go opposite from what's happening. So whatever Trump does, they'll try to like bring it down. So it doesn't matter. They have like on-site printers that print out banners like like rapidly. Um, I don't know. It's just weird. That's super weird energy. But we did do a strike. I think it was just a strike mission. That's it. It doesn't really mean that we're in the war officially because I don't really feel it like that. I feel like yes, we participated, but we were called upon to take out this area where which Israel wants to take out, but they don't have the weaponry to do it, and the U.S. has it. And this cost not the U.S. This cost Iran a lot. No, it cost Israel a lot of money. It cost Iran too a lot of money because now the gig is up. No, you can't. No business, no side business. So no extra money for the Ayatollah. So it's unique. The thing is that the response back is the unique part because you're not getting like instant response back. I think these individuals know that they're being watched. Everything they do is being recorded, and they can come and attack that area. So, man, I just wish Iran, man, would have just said, "Yeah, fuck it," we can't do it. Then but we already did it. That's what they said to the world. They were like, "Yeah, we're enriching uranium." And it's like, wait a minute, but we told you you're not supposed to, but you're doing it anyway. So as a punishment, this is what you get. And Trump, he doesn't bluff. He doesn't sit around and wait. Like those days that we were waiting is for intelligence. We're talking about a lot of satellite pictures, a lot of movement. You got to see like everything in real time. And of course, they had a predator drone up there as filming and taking pictures. A lot of stuff. This operation was pretty well executed, which I know the world is like, holy shit, you know. But that's just a taste of what the U.S. That's nothing. That's just 3 bombs, and people are acting all crazy now. Yo, they just took out the nuclear sites. I mean, they shot 30 missiles from submarines, like to take out two other reactors, and then takes bunker buster bombs to eliminate. I mean, let's see what happens next. I'll be back on later on today, and you guys continue having a good day, a good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening. I'll catch you on the flip side, and yeah, it's just crazy times. I don't know. It all depends on Iran, and Iran's feeling some kind of they're feeling some kind of butt hurt way. Their butt is hurting right now. So it's I'll be back on later this evening, and we'll continue this. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.